Bob Maloney from MyMMAnews.com, and I have the pleasure today of meeting for the first time and interviewing Kyle Sefcik. Kyle, how are you, brother?
I'm good, thank you.
Kyle is a professional fighter. He's a business owner. He owns his own gym, and I saw on social media that he was in my neck of the woods visiting Philadelphia, trying to save one life at a time, doing important work. So he has many more bigger missions than just his job. And Kyle, great to see you. Thanks for coming to Philly. Tell us a little bit what brought you here and what's going on. How's the city of brotherly love treating you?
Well, first of all, happy to be on the show, my man. You know what I'm saying? I've seen a lot of the work that you've been doing in the community for years now, a long time, man. And it's just awesome just to meet you in person, have you, right next to me.
Yeah,
but honestly, just a quick shout out to Philly. It's been really actually an awesome experience here so far. You know what I'm saying? Before I made this mission, I'll share a little bit more about it in a second. But people are like, oh man, you're going to Philly. It's rough right now. You're hearing a lot of negative stuff. And I'm like, ever since I got here, it's honestly been a lot of love. So just appreciate all you that, have been, showing love in the first place.
Well, listen, I have friends who, this is what I saw. I saw you over in Kensington, out there with a microphone trying to help people, save people. And listen, I have some friends that I call brothers that grew up in Kensington. It used to be beautiful. And now, listen, it's sad, not just the people, but they're not getting help. The government doesn't help the people in the city. It's almost like, let them go. We don't care about them. They're not getting help from anybody. So you're over there trying to help people, which is I have such total respect for you. Tell me a little bit about that and what you're doing, because you're trying to save people, which is very honorable.
Yes, well, I'll just say it like this, for the viewers. I'm from Maryland. Actually, I own a gym, MMA gym in Maryland. I come out of Maryland. But me and my family, we went all in with Christ a few years ago, bro, and that's been our main focus now, is truly telling people about Christ. You know what I'm saying? So we do ministry now. So we travel every other month to different states, and my wife said last month we just had a baby, and she goes, hey, it's time to go to Philly. I'm like, why Philly? She's like, I don't know, but we need to go to Philly. The first day we were planted here, we started making connections right away. That's just how God works when you trust Him. We got an apartment here. We're booked for a month. And the first day we were here, we started getting connected with people, talking to people in the streets. And they're like, hey, you need to go talk to blah, blah, blah. You need to go talk to blah, blah. So within the first 2 days, we knew the main part we needed to hit was Kensington and Allegheny. And that's one of the videos you saw where we're actually going to people, not just telling them about Christ, but actually baptizing them right in the middle of Kensington and Allegheny. But then doing what's also very important, and that's getting them into rehab, into facilities. Not just saying, okay, cool, we're on our way. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that at all. These people are truly broken, truly hurt. And like you said, they have been forgotten by the government and by people. You know what I'm saying? They are alone out there. They are broken. And as Christians, if you're going to say we're a Christian, we need to truly be laying hands on the sick and telling people the truth about themselves and that they are created for a great purpose. And then honestly getting them help. And that's what we've been doing.
Yeah, like I said, it's just when you see what's going on in the cities, in the street. Now listen, you're seeing children, you're seeing probably single mothers, you're seeing a lot of sadness, depression, drug abuse. Talk to me about, your therapy. I seen you over, the Godfathers of Philadelphia Jiu-Jitsu, Phil and Ricardo Megaris. I seen you over at Balance Studios. A couple of days later, I seen you over at Marquez MMA with Coach Mike Wilcox, one of the most underrated wrestling coaches in town. Shout out to Mike Wilcox and some of the UFC fighters they have over there.
Yes.
Talk to me a little bit about how that kind of therapy helps you deal with the sadness and the downness and the ugliness that you're seeing, and when you're out there trying to save people.
Yeah, so we've talked about this in private before. It can be really draining, truly, giving yourself, me and my family are out here truly giving our time, our resources, our energy to truly help others, right? It can be draining. But for me, and any MMA person, any martial artist knows this, you have to stay training. It is our therapy. It is our therapy. So I always say, Jesus in Jiu-Jitsu, I go to the Word and I go to training. And thank God I was linked up with the brothers at Balance, and they have been giving me awesome training. And then with Coach Wilcox, I've been awesome wrestling with all these UFC guys, people that are still able to put it on you. I'm a pro MMA guy, a Muay Thai, boxing, wrestling, a little bit of wrestling, and a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But being able to train with these other high caliber people keep me on my game and keep pushing me. And that's what I want around here as well. So it's like God's put me in a position to truly do his work. But at the same time, me and my children are still able to go train and do what we love and stay healthy, stay focused, and have that therapy you need when you're so exhausted. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then I also want to say, shout out to the Rock Ministries as well, right there on Kensington. I'm actually teaching there tonight another class. I've been doing a couple seminars for them. It's kids that are taken in that area that need an outlet, that need to be off of those streets, let's be honest, and they're right there in the middle of it. And what they do there is they train the kids in boxing, they train the kids in jiu-jitsu, and then they do Bible studies. And I've already done one seminar there, and I can't wait to do another one tonight. So like I said, because I met Phil and Rick, they connected me to Kevin at the Rock Ministries. It's like it's just happening all over the place. And I'm talking about the bigger things right now, but there's also a bunch of other things that we're doing. Like me and my children took a walk. We take walks and we just talk to people. We want to hear their stories here in Philly. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just us benefiting them and helping them. It's like we're hearing things as well that are really encouraging us and making us have gratitude and love the life that God's provided for us, because it's tough. You hear all these tough stories of people. Like one guy I was training with the other day, we talked afterwards, and he was like, yeah, I lost my son last week to gun violence, and I needed to get into training and stuff. And you just hear this and you just appreciate life more and the connections we're making.
Well, listen, it's funny how life is one big circle, and in that circle, you have, like I said, the sadness, and you have the outlet. I mean, you got the jiu-jitsu, and I'm happy for you that you have that, because, like I said, it's such a sad life. Kyle Sefcik, check him out. He's out there saving one life at a time, and through mixed martial arts, and from helping the young people who need it more than ever before. Yeah. Kyle, give some shout-outs or some love for anybody you want, my man. The time is yours.
Yeah, I definitely want to say this, especially too, because I know you have a huge fighter audience. We are meant, especially as men, to be the protectors, be the people standing up for what is right, telling people the truth about themselves. You know what I'm saying? Being there for the kids, being there for the people that aren't protecting themselves, being there for the broken and the people that just haven't found their path like we have. You know what I'm saying? We have found things that we appreciate, but why I'm saying this is because, let's be honest, guys, especially the last few years alone, we've seen a huge almost cowardice in the men these days. And as us martial artists, these warriors God has created us to be, we need to be standing strong and not just staying behind closed doors, but getting out to people. You know what I'm saying? Especially Christians. We need to be healing. We need to be laying hands on the sick. We need to be driving out demons. We need to be preaching the word. And that's what I'm going to continue to do as a Christian. Not just talk about it, but be about it. I also want to give a quick shout out back home to Maryland, MMA and Sport, our gym. We miss you guys, but hey, we're in great hands here. Me and all kinds of great people to stay in touch with in the MMA world. Also, the K&K Foundation is our nonprofit that has made this possible. We have people that literally will donate and say, hey, Kyle, I would like to check somebody into rehab. Can you put this money towards, things like that are happening to make this possible. When you trust in God, like I said, we had no idea who anybody was here, and God said, go to Philly. We booked an apartment without any connections, and we got planted right here, and it just happens to be 4 minutes from Balance Studios, 20 minutes from you, 15 minutes from the Rock Ministry, and 8 minutes from Kensington. It's exactly where God wants us to be, and now it's like all this fruit is coming from it, and we're going to continue to fight for the people here in Philly and the streets.
Kyle Sefcik, putting in the Lord's work, saving one life at a time. If everybody could just pitch in a little bit like he does, the world would be a better place. Amen. Pleasure, my brother.
Hey, thank you so much, Bob.
Enjoy the rest of your stay and come back whenever you want.
Oh, I will, man. God bless, guys.